Hi Flosstube, my name is Sofia and this is my cross-stitch channel, the Minigame Stitcher. I have a video out that is a year old and the channel was called Northern Crosses then, so you might not recognize the name, but it is the same channel. I changed the name because I wasn't happy with the old one, and also I think the Minigame Stitcher reflects a bit better of who I am as a person. I like to play games and I like to stitch mini heights. So that is why. Yeah, as I said, it's been a year and not sorry. This is the third time I'm filming this video. I have had some technical difficulties with both filming and uploading and editing and everything. So let's cross our fingers that the third time is the charm. That said, this is the sixth time that I've done this intro, so forgive me if I have forgotten something, because in my head I've already said all these things quite a lot of times, so sorry if I forget anything. Some things first before we get into it. So today it's going to be a whip parade and also a things that I have kitted up but haven't started yet. And the reason I'm going to show that as well is a part of my plans. So I will have my plans interwoven in between the whip parade, and hopefully it will be clear as to why I show those projects as well. Nothing is ironed at all. That is because I stitch in hand using the sewing method, and to make that easy for myself I actually need my projects to be a bit crinkly. I have two different types of Ada. One is Zweigart and the other one is Permin, and the Permin Ada is the one that is most crinkly, especially in the start, but it tends to soften up a little bit, but it is easier to be crinkly than the Zweigart one. Hopefully I will remember to say what count fabric everything is on and what type of floss I'm using, but if I forget it, most of my projects are on 18 count, white Ada, 2/1, and I'm using CXC floss. I really like using CXC floss because it is fluffier, you get better coverage, and it doesn't tangle as much as DMC does. I think that is all. No, my dog is in the room and she was at the veterinary yesterday to have a claw removed, pulled out. So she is not a happy camper right now. So if you hear any grunts or sounds, it is because she is not feeling all that well. I have given her painkillers, she have been out, and she has eaten. So I've done what I can to make her as comfortable as possible, but if she wakes up and doesn't see me right away, she might be a bit grumpy and let me know that I'm not there. I have sorted my whips in some categories. So first it's finishes, then it is non-full coverage kits, non-full coverage not kits, full coverage in kits, and lastly full coverage not in kits. So for me it's going from least favorite to most favorite in a way, because I like to stitch full coverage that are not in kits. Yeah, I think that is it. I really do. So let's start. The first one that I finished last year was Mini Watching the World Go By Lucy Pittaway. It is this image, and if I can find out how to edit with my new setup, I will insert a picture of what it looked like when it was done. If not, this was a week before, and it isn't anymore. But yeah, this one is done. I've given it away. Next up that I finished was 9 koi carps. It was a kit by Owen. It was 16 count, white Ada, 2/1. And this is what it's looking like all done. So this kit has a lot of blends and a lot of quite long back stitches that are not supposed to be ouch. So it is a kit that is on the trickier side, I would say. So if you don't like blends and you don't like long back stitches, this is not a kit for you. But there it is. It's quite cool. It's an underwater kit, right? But there are no blue threads in it, so nothing in this is blue. I'm sorry about the lighting as well, as everyone on Flosstube is. It is cloudy today, and the forecast have said it might rain and snow today, but hopefully it's good enough. Hopefully. Okay, next up of my finishes was a autumn cloth, or a tablecloth, and this is how it's looking now. So it's all done. It's quite long, as you can see, and this is a kit from Verico that is like Lenart's sister company or mother company, I think. But this one was a printed fabric. I don't know the count of it, but as you can see, the crosses aren't meeting up, and that is because I wanted it to be that way. I wanted it to feel a bit more rustic, a bit more antique almost. And also, there are not only crosses, there are some stem stitches and some satin stitches and some French knots. But yeah, there it is. Looking really good. So this one comes out in the autumn, and hopefully we'll do that every year. I was going to say something, I forgot it. Anyway, wasn't important, probably. My latest finish was the 1994 Prairie Sampler, and this was I won this in a giveaway from Vicky the Stitching Button. So this sampler is my only sampler, like the traditional ones, and this was designed for an event in 1994, so 29 years ago. And it is my first time stitching lazy daisies, and also in the crown up here there are some eyelets. So it was my first time stitching those stitches. But yeah, it's done. And I'm going to post the pattern to Nonna the Crafty Shield Maiden as soon as my dog can be left alone. So, hopefully soon. That was stitched on a 36 count Belfast linen in the colorway cream 2/2, because there are some fractional stitches in it and some 1/1. So 2/2 was the easiest. If I look down, I forgot to say that if I look down or to the side or something like that, it is because I have all my notes below the camera and all my statistics are also below the camera. And I also am going to fold every project because things will get messy if I don't. So I really need to fold them and put them in a new pile to the side. But that was my finishes. Yeah, let's get started with the whip parade. So, as I said, I will start with the non-full coverage in kits, and then we go from there. With things that I have in kits, they are not my favorite thing to stitch. I've moved away from kits quite a lot, so there won't be a lot of progress, if any, on them. but I have 3 that I really love, and it's the first 3 actually. So, but the first one, it is Tutankhamun from Lanart. This is stitched on a 28 count even weave 2/2, and this weave it isn't printed, but yeah, I don't know, it's almost like it's painted. So as you can see, it's white on the back, but really pretty on the front. So here he is right now. So that is him with some gold metallic stitches as well. Great stuff to stitch with, or not. It's a DMC metallics, and they are everything everybody says about how frustrating it is to stitch with is true. So if you haven't tried stitching with metallics, it isn't fun. Let's just leave it at that. It isn't fun, but it looks good, so we do it. The next one is the sister piece, or I actually think she is his stepmom in real life, but this is Nefertiti, also by Lanart. Also stitched on the same type of fabric, so it's a 28 count, 2/1, 2/2, even. So here she is. So yeah, I really like her a lot. Sorry about the light. Whoa. Here we have a disco. I'm so sorry. Let's see if I can fix that. That was Nefertiti, and I will see if putting on some more light might work. Sorry. Still here. This will work better, so we don't have a disco. We shall see. If not, I will turn that one off again. Okay. This one is also one of my favorites. This is Guardian of Treasure. It is Momentos Magicos. There are the kits. February. The kit company. It's totally blank there. But this one, I bought this one from Nana, the Crafty Shield Maiden, and he's going to look so good when he's done. So good. A lot of beads in it is going to be so pretty. But anyway, here he is. This is 14 count white Ada 2/1, and so this one I started in the middle and I worked my way up to the top, and now I'm working my way down again. So yeah, well, he's going to look so good. So those were the 3 kits that I really like and would like to see finished and all of that jazz. The rest of them not so much. So the next one I have is called Twilight Bridge. It's a kit from RTO, so it is not the Thomas Kincaid image, as you can see, hopefully. This one is stitched on a 14 count black Ada, and again, black Ada is not one of my favorites, so here I am on that one. It's not that I have a problem with the fabric per se. I'm not finding it difficult to stitch on. I just don't enjoy stitching on it in a way. But yeah, I really love how the colors pop on it though. It's going to look great. And next one is also a kit from RTO. It is called Forest Deer. This is what it's going to look like when it's done. And this one is stitched on a 14 count white Ada 2/1. So there we go on him. So for those of you that watched my last week parade, you might notice that they look exactly the same, many of these kits. As I said, I have moved quite away from kits. They are technically UFOs, but I don't like the concept of UFOs, so they are still whips. I will sometimes put them out and stitch on them and then put them back in, and it can go months or years before I stitch on them again. But I have them and I won't throw them away. So yeah. Anyway, the next one is called Links on a Walk. And this one is from a Russian company I don't know the name of. Sorry, so here we go. So let's see. This is 14 count white Ada, stitch 2/1 again. So there we go. Started some of the tree and a bit of the links, but not much. Next up is links again, Permanent of Copenhagen. So this is what it's going to look like. I have the companion piece for this one that was the owl. I showed it in my last video, if anyone wants to see that. Yeah, here he is, or she. And this is stitched on a 14 count white Ada 2/1, as most kits are. And this is where I am. So this one I actually know I have touched. I've stitched some like up here, a little bit down somewhere here I think. But there is my links. Hopefully you can see with this lighting. I'm so sorry. There's nothing I can do about it. Next up is So Much Fun. It is also a kit. Looking like that. So it is a Christmas tree floor thing, mat. And this is my largest project by like the physically largest project I have. It's stitched on a, I think it is 9 count, no it's 6 count white Ada. And let's see if I can do this graciously. I don't think so. Let's see. So there I am on So Much Fun. So I've done one of the motifs and I've started the second one. And there are going to be 7 motifs on this one total. But there it is. Looking good with the cardinal, I think. Is it? We don't have that type of bird here, so I don't know. I can't be sure. But there is that one. I'm not going to fold that one again, because that will take me forever. Okay, next up is King of Beasts. It's a kit from Rayolis. It is stitched on 11 counts, like a cream Ada, 3/1. And this one, as I said in my last video, is stitched, it's from 2017, 16, 17, something like that. And back in the day, I didn't care what way my crosses lay. So it is stitched, the crosses are going everywhere. But I'm okay with that actually, because it is a lion and lions have fur and fur goes crisscross all around. So hopefully you can see all of it like that. So I'm almost done with the first page. Not quite, but almost. So that is him, King of Beasts. Next up we have something called Drömträdgården, or translated is Dream Garden, and it is from Permanent of Copenhagen. And I have 2 of these kits, so as you can see the shovel and the hat and like the accessories, they are actually physical objects that you put on the crosses when it's done. And so that is what it's going to look like. And you're going to be amazed at my starts on this one. Ta-da! Ta-da! Huge, I know. But there it is. isn't a he, but there the kids are. So, like a little dark blob. Hang on, I need to tell my dog not to do something. Hopefully that worked and we're back again. It's my dog, she can't lick on the bandages. So if she does, I need to put on like a cone on her head, and I really don't want to because she already feels sorry for herself, and I do too. So if I can not do that and just tell her not to do it, that is the best thing. Anyway, the next one is called Vinterport or Winter Gate, and it's the same thing with the skis and like the door ornament stuff. All of that is going to be put on the cross stitch when it's done. And the frame also came with these two, so I have frames for this one and Dream Garden. Yeah, Permanent Copenhagen. And these kits were actually made especially for a company called Atelier Margareta, and they are like, it's one of the only companies here in Norway that actually sell cross stitch, and I don't like buying from them directly. So this one I found on the marketplace here in Norway instead, but there is my start on it. It started at least. So with all these kits, I've tried to start them just so that when I pick them up again, I don't have to, find center and find right floss and all of that. I can just look at it and say, okay, here is the center, it started, let's go. Okay, next up is Max Moon. It is a design from Melissa Blackman, and it's a Busilla kit. So here it is. So one of my few cat animals. If you like cats, watch during the Disney Stitcher. So here is Max Moon. It's going to look like. And this one, this one took me like 2+ hours just to sort the thread because the thread weren't sorted. And when I finally had done all that, I wasn't in the mood to stitch on it at all. It was so demotivating to sort all the floss and all of that. So here he is. He started. Yeah. I don't know if that lamp actually helps anything. Let's try it without it again. Because I look like, when you have a hold of like the light under your chin and you look to be spooky, I felt like I was looking like that. So sorry. Let's try it with that. Next up, I have 5 Winnie the Pooh cross stitches. So I have Pooh's Honey, Tigger's Honey, Ear's Honey, Piglet's Honey, and this one is like a placeholder image just so that I know that I have a kit. It's called Fun with Frogs, I think, or Friendly Frogs. Friendly Frogs. The one I have is called, but I couldn't find an image for it online, so it's just a placeholder for myself. So the first one is called Ear's Honey that I've started. It's looking like this. As I said in my last video, I don't like these kits at all. They have so many fractional stitches and half crosses. Like not half crosses, but 3/4 stitches. And on Ada, like this is, it is 18 count white Ada on all of the kits. It's not fun to do, to be honest. But yeah, this is my start on Ear's Honey. And this one is also started, but not by me. This is called Pooh's Honey. And again, 18 count white Ada 201. And this one I bought from that marketplace here in Norway, and the seller didn't tell me that she had already started it and was halfway done with it. But yeah, it is started, just not by me. Here we go. Next up we have Victorian Village. You might have seen this one. This is originally a kit. I'm going to do like that. And I don't have the original one. I have a Chinese printed one, and if you want to hear my thoughts, what I think about my Chinese copies, watch my last Flosstube. Anyway, this whip is like 170 centimeters long, so I'm not going to fold out everything, but here I am on that one, and as you can see, I have started on the first house, and I'm filling in columns going from left to right. So I think I'm done up to here, I think. So yeah, it's going to look really good. It's sad that it is one of the copy kits. But anyway, moving on. With these copy kits, I've changed the name so that when you Google it, you won't find the kit, because I don't want to give these any more promotion, but at the same time, I want to have a name to call them when I show them, just for myself. So this one I'm calling Late Summer House. It is a kit. The other one was on 14 counts 2/1, and this one is on 18 count 2/1. And they look full coverage, but they aren't. So some of the sky isn't stitched on this one. So let's see. Some floss that doesn't belong to this project on it. Here I am on this one. So a very small start up in the left corner. There we go. This one is also quite, it is a large project. I'm just going to do. So it is quite large. I have a very small start. I can fold it up. Let's see. Let's just put it down with so much fun, and I will deal with that later. Okay, that was all my kits, non-full coverage. So next up we have non-full coverage that are not in kits. So the first one of those are Vivi. It is from the Angel Wolf Boutique on Etsy, and the fabric is called Blue Watercolor. So he is going to look like that when he's done. And this one works in Pattern Keeper, and I believe let's see, I am at 62.69% done with him. So that is just my share making noises anyway. There we go. Here is my Vivi. And with him, the pattern actually calls for a lot of discontinued DMC colors, and I've changed all those to DMC that exists, but this is CXC floss. 2/1 on 18 count. Watercolor, blue watercolor Ada cloth. But it's a printed kit, so the back is white and it's printed. Actually, it might be better with that lamp on. See? I don't know. You will have to let me know in the comments later what actually was best. But there he is, my little wizard. It's going to look so good. Next one is Golf Play Watercolor by Light Unicorn Designs on Etsy, and the Ada that I'm using is called Poison Green. So there we go. And these printed Adas I have ordered from Easy Stitch One on Etsy. So this is my golfer. Me and my husband really like to watch golf. We follow Victor Hovland a lot on TV. Right now they are in Arizona, I think. Yeah. Anyway, so much fun. So I don't play it, but my husband does. So it is this one. And this Ida really is poison green. It is so bright. like almost jello-y, like mix between lime and lemon, almost. But there he is. Even though the pattern works in Pattern Keeper, the percentages aren't correct because like all of the outside was white stitches, and I'm not going to stitch 10,000 white stitches. That ain't happening. I'm insane. Next up is Pumpkin Color Autumn by Owl Forest Embroidery, and this is just called Brown Ada Cloth Hand Dyed Effect is the fabric. This one, some of you might have seen it. I'm using CXC for this one. I also did that for the golfer. And let's see. That is upside down. Let's see. Here I am on this one. And this one works in Pattern Keeper, so I am at 20.39% done with this one. Really like it. It's going to look so good. And I'm really happy with like the fabric choice. It is a bit darker in real life than it is on camera, but let's see. Like up here you might see the colors a bit better. But there it is. Next up, it's my last non-full coverage Nothing Hits things, and it is You Belong to Me by Long Dog Samplers. It is this one. I'm stitching it using 3808 and one of the DMC metallics in bronze color. And I am actually going to change it some, because first of all, I don't like the rats in front of the pyramid. I don't like them, so I'm going to remove them and do something else. But secondly, I think it would look really good to fill in stuff like this in the building with a bronze floss. So it is the DMC metallic that is a pain to stitch with, but I'm going to try to do it 1/1 instead of 2/1, as these things are, and see if that works better. But on this one, I am done with the first row of pages, and I have started in on the second one. So I think the first row of pages actually ends where the feet of that bird stops. So his feet is the last thing on the first page. So there it is. If you are stitching this one, please note that this pattern does not work in Pattern Keeper. If you put in the correct amount of shaded squares, one column will disappear. And if you put in between every page break, and if you put in that you have one more shaded area, you will get double in the rows. So you will get double up here. So what I have done with all of the patterns that I have on paper and that doesn't work in Pattern Keeper, I have taken good quality photos of everyone, of every page of every pattern, and I have put them in Pattern Keeper, so I can't search for symbols, but I can mark them off in there. So when you import a pattern into Pattern Keeper, you can choose between having it import from a PDF or from a photo, and I've done from a photo version of it. So I can't, as I said, I can't search for symbols, but I can mark off symbols that are stitched, and that helps me really much, because I don't like to use pen and paper, and you know, you get markers everywhere and you need to take off the cork of the marker, and then you have to write, and then you put back on and put down, and picks also a thing. So with all of these non-fold coverage, I actually have percentages of each and every one of them, and I can have how many stitches I have stitched on them, all of that stuff. But because they are non-full coverage, the percentages isn't correct, if that makes sense, because I have filled in everything that isn't stitched on the app. I have filled in that as well. So for instance, Let's say take my golfer, for instance. So the complete stitched area on this one is 17,000 stitches, and in my app it says that I have stitched 12,108 stitches, and this, as you can see, is not 12,108 stitches. It's far from it. But with me having the pattern in Pattern Keeper, I now know that I have about 5,000 stitches left, because that's the only thing that isn't marked off. So I know there's about 5,000 stitches left, and I can do some fun statistics with that. Yeah. Anyway, such a side tangent. But you can do that if you are interested. You can do that in Pattern Keeper, and it helps me a lot. It is a lot of work putting in every page of every pattern, but for me it's worth it, and I really like having it that way. Okay, next category is full coverage in kits. And just move that pile a bit closer. So the first one that I have is Central Park in the Fall. It's a Thomas Kincaid kit, and I have the kit and not the Heaven and Earth design version of this one. So there it is, and because this is full coverage, my percentage actually work. Let's see if I can find it. So I have all the statistics in the back here. Let's see. Sorry. I am at 2.58% done on this one. So I usually have glasses on, but because there was so much glare on them, I had to remove them. But here I am, 2.58% done. That is 1,283 crosses. And I believe, because that seems a very high number for me, but I think there is one row and one column around the entire piece that I did not stitch because it was just blank, but I've marked it off in the Pattern Keeper. So that's why this can hardly be 1,200 stitches. But there it is. This kit has a lot of blends, a lot of blends, and as you can see, I have some fairy fluff for my dog. All my projects have that, so you can't get away with it. If you have a dog, and if you have a Labrador, like, you will have hair everywhere. Next up, anyway, is Luca S. Autumn Landscape. This is stitched on 18 count 201, and this is like, it is a cream fabric, and it has the 10 by 10 squares, but I don't think it is either Easy Guide or Magic Guide. I think it's something else, because I've never seen this type of gridding before. Anyway, here it is, and if I zoom in a little bit, can you see that? Yeah, you can see the lines. So it's like a jello line, and I'm not sure what that is. If anyone knows, please let me know, because I really like it. Because these lines are not on the square, it's like between two squares, so it's very easy to see which cross is the first in the square. So I really like it. But this one I have in my Pattern Keeper app. This one is at 17.54% done, so that's 16,878 stitches. So the first page is done, and almost I believe it's like 16 pages. 16th down in the bottom there is done too. There it is. Next up is my one and only Dimensions kit, and it is called Santa's Midnight Ride. It is this one, and it is full coverage even though it doesn't look like it, but all of this sky, except for some of the moon and some of the stars, are half crosses. So, and that is what I have done on it so far. So this one, same time I do this. This one I have stitched 3064 stitches, which is like 1032 in whole crosses, but there it is. This is on, I believe it is 16 count, like a navy Ada. So this is the top left corner. I always start in the top left corner if I can. It's very rare for me to start in the middle now, but I can do that as well, but I prefer the top left. So there it is. This is the end of page 1, and it goes down to the line. So one of very few winter pieces that I have, or like Christmas pieces. I think I have 2. Yeah, 2. I think. Okay, anyway, next up it is a Riolis kit. This one is Free Flight, and again, this was at the same time I bought the lion piece, the King of Beasts. So my crosses is going everywhere. But here is, but it is an eagle, and you know, feathers go all way, like every direction. This is 14 count, and it is the wool floss that they use in Riolis kits. And with many of my kits, I'm actually going to grid all of them, and I might do them extreme cross country because I don't know, it was what I did with Nikon koi carps, and I really enjoyed stitching that way on like smaller projects, because these ones are to me smaller projects. I can say how many percentages. Sorry if you can hear my tummy rumbling. Also, Free Flight is at 3.6%, and it's 1855 stitches on it, so 1855. Yeah, I'm going to grid this and start in top left and take one symbol and then stitch it all in the piece, because I think that works best for me when it's something smaller. Next up, one of the fake ones. This is, I'm calling her Ocean Lady. This is what she's going to look like. And she is at 3.12% done. And this one is one of 2 projects that I have tried parking on and decided I didn't like it. So there it is, top left corner. And with these types of projects, the ones that I have that are fakes and not printed, the image has so much confetti. Like, haze can have a lot of confetti, but nothing is like this. It is so unprocessed, like it's confetti for confetti's sake. There are more colors in these than there are in a normal Hade. It's insane. But anyway, that is her. Next one I have is Disney Princesses. Again, same thing. I'm going to eat after this video is done. I'm so sorry you can hear that. But yeah, there it is. And I have started in the top left corner, and I tried to do all the black first, and then I got tired of that, so I stitched some of the colors. But there it is. Let's see. Hold it. There that one is. So it is Belle that I've stitched some of up here. So again, the confetti is horrendous on this one as well. You really notice the difference between someone that is shortening things and want people to enjoy stitching on them, and this that is just to make money as fast as possible, because, and my dog is dreaming now, so she's unhappy in her dreams as well. This is, what did it call it? Fox Fairy. Again, one of those kits. And again, I tried parking on this one. I am not going to do that. I did not like parking. So it is just 3371 and 310 and one like red thread. Yeah, it's like a blob of brown and black. Anyway, let's see if anyone was interested in it. The Disney Princesses was at 5.33% down, and the Fox thing was at 3.12. No, that was Sea Witch. The Fox Fairy was at 0.83% done. And next one we have a printed kit, but originally this is Summer Landscape by Luca S, but I don't have the original one, and that is what it's supposed to be. It is a companion piece for the autumn one that I have that are original, but I've just stitched some up here, this tree, and some in that window. Yeah. With these printed kits, I like to stitch on the Victorian Village one, and one of the other ones that I've shown you now, and I will, when I'm done with that one, I will change it to something else that I'm focusing on instead, like for instance this one instead, or yeah. The next one is Goldfish. This is what it's going to look like when it's done. And this one I am the closest to actually throw away, because this is 9 count, 4/1, and it is one of the silk threads, not real silk thread, but like the China version of silk thread. And metallic is hard to stitch with. This one is a nightmare. Like, I can't get it to look good, and I am not one that cares all that much about how my stitches look. When you have a piece that have like 79,000 stitches, no one is going to look at one individual stitch, really. So I don't really mind that, but this silk floss, it is so hard to make it look good. So hard. So I've actually tried to use the floss on a different count fabric, and it still doesn't look good. So this one is very close to just going to the bin, honestly. And the same goes for this one as well. This one is originally a Thomas Kincaid New Day at Cinderella Castle. This is what it's going to look like. And again, it is the silk floss, and this is 11 count, so it is 3/1. And I've stitched some of the sky up here, and also a little bit of this. This looks like a sun in this, sun or the moon in this piece, but it is actually supposed to be Tinkerbell and her like glow, but she's nowhere to be found in that one. Anyway, very close to just throw this one away as well. Next up we have Scarlet Wizard, sorry, and it is originally a Dimensions kit. This is what he is going to look like. I really like the piece. I don't like stitching on it. Again, like as I said in my previous video, a lot of my joy of stitching these disappeared quite a lot when I found out they were fakes, and it made me really sad when I found out. But this is where I'm on that one. So I've stitched black here, yeah, you can see, and some of the red in his hat as well. Nothing else is stitched. So this is 14 count, 2/1. Let's see. Yeah, and the next one is the last of these kit ones. So this one I'm calling Animal Collage. Montage. Okay. This is what it's going to look like. And this one is the one that I am focusing on when I'm stitching on some of the printed kits. It is this one that I'm stitching on. So that is what it's going to look like. And I am about 50% done with this one, I think. So here it is. The top half of the pages are done almost. And then I've stitched some in the bottom as well. So this is 11 count, 3/1 full cross. It's fine. Everything is fine. There we go. I spilled some water on it. So yeah, it will come. All of the print will get away, washed out. If that is spilling some cold water on it, I have no worries at all. The pile is getting quite large now over there. Anyway, now over to my whips that I stitched on the most and which are in my plans. And yeah, the first one is very special to my heart. It is my absolute top project of all time, I think, and you will see why, because this is my dog Bella, and I have taken this photo up in Tromsø. So this is what she's going to look like when she's done, and I used Floss Cross to do this pattern, so it works in Pattern Keeper with searchable symbols and everything. And this one I am at 38.82% done. This is stitched on a 28 count white Ada 2/1 using DMC because she is a special girl. So let's see if I can make you see, because she is dark, but she isn't just dark. Let's see. You can see, yeah, you can see a bit better there. So that is my dog Bella. And I really, really, really love the project. A lot. She is, like, you can understand why this is my favorite, right? Because nothing can compare to my own dog. Like, nothing. I don't have children, so my dog is my child. Sort of. She is my baby dog. Okay, moving on. I think everything from here on now is going to be 18 count white Ada, and I'm using C floss for everything except one, and I will tell you which one that is when it comes up. But the next one is Pokemon Generation 1 from Lord Lebidian. Like, many people are stitching this one, and I am one of those people. This one, let's find out how far I am on this one. I am at 3.28% done. So there is where I am on this one. Let's see. I think I will have to put it over here instead. So let's see. Next one up is Hollow Knight and Queer by Lauren Stitch on Etsy. This is what it's going to look like. So it's quite an iconic scene from that game. Really great game. If you haven't played it, I highly recommend it. It is hard, but it's fun. Really like it. So this is where that one is at. And yeah, this one I am at 35.6% done with. So this is why I'm called the mini game stitcher. Next one up is Mario Galaxy by Needle Mind Lair on Etsy. And this one I am at 30.29% done with. So here I am on him. And this is some of my plan, because this one, in the start of the year, I was at 1.05% done. I stitched some of this, and when I did this whip array the first time, I filmed it back in January, I picked up a whip and I looked at it and it was, oh yeah, it's just this dark corner up here, and then I moved to the next one and it was, oh, it's just this dark corner up here, the next one. So what I have decided to do is to pick up a project and stitch on it until you can see a bit better what it is actually. So now you can very clearly see that this is Super Mario and Cappy. So that is my plan, to pick up all of these barely started whips, stitch on them for however many days that I need to come forth, and when I've done that on like 3-4 ones, I can start a new project, because I have kitted up a lot of things, a lot of patterns that I want to stitch on as well, but I want to have new starts. Even though I have a lot of whips, I still want to have the new ones as well. And I know that I know exactly how long it will take me to stitch all of this, because I have in my statistics, I also have how many stitches I have left totally on every project that I own, and I could, based on that, I could calculate how many days it would take me to finish all of them, including the one I haven't started yet. So I know exactly how long it will take me to finish all of this. I'm fine with it. I'm completely fine with it, but I want to start new things, and I want to have progress on things that I've already started as well. So that is my plan, to stitch on something until I can see what it is, and then I can start something new and do the same thing over and over again and get farther and farther along on them. But that is like my full coverage, not kits, and also the first 3 whips that I showed you are including those plans. Anyway, back to the whips. Next one is Zelda Twilight Princess, also by Needle Mind Lair. This one I also stitched on this year, and it is at 21.37% done. So Midna is my absolute favorite Zelda character. So to find a pattern that had her in it, even if it is her, the small version of her, I was really happy with that. So if anyone sees a pattern that has Midna in it, that isn't the, what is it called, Pinky the Pink, as long as it isn't that one, please link it to me, because I really like to stitch her. But this is where I am on it. So I've done a lot of background. I started in on Link and his hair. That is actually his eye, and this is his cheek, and like Midna's hat. Actually, it's a fused shadow, but yeah. Twilight Princess is my favorite Zelda game. So I'm hoping that the new Tears of the Kingdom game will be like as dark as that one. I'm just going to have that light on because you can't see, because let's see. Yeah, you can see a bit better now. So it is like a gradient in green and yellow down on the side. So you will have to live with my face looking creepy. Sorry, but I am not the focus here. My whips are. Anyway, next up, this is Zelda Breath of the Wild, also by the Needle Mind Lair on Etsy. And this one I am at 15.76% done with. And here I am on him. So here is the edge of the pattern and also there. And this one looks best when you hold it a bit further away, because when you look up close on him, he blends in quite a lot with the background. Like his features aren't as clear when you look up close as they are when you look a bit further away. But yeah, really like that one. Next up is, I have the entire montage series. So I started 3 of them, but not the spring one yet. But the first one I'm going to show you is Summer Montage. This is from Paint Free Crafts, and the designer is Janet Stever. So a lot of people are stitching these, and I absolutely love the image of it. It's going to look so good. It's going to be great. So this one, let's see. I do it like that. So it's the top left corner, and I've stitched down to the bottom of the first square and almost all the way over here, and started some of the rows. So this one I am at 0.59% done. So not even a percentage. And like I said, this is one of those that I'm going to take up and I stitch until you can see a bit more what it is and put it away, and you will see it throughout the year, I hope. Next up is Autumn Montage, also by Janet Stever, also from Paint Free Craft. Also 18 count, white data 2/1, CXC floss. Everything from here on out is 18 count, 2/1, as I said before. And here I am on that one. Let's see. I'm so sorry about the light. Like every Flosstuber are, I'm so sorry. This one is at 2.17% done, so this is 3,218 stitches. That is that one. Next one is the Winter Montage, Janet Stever, Paint Free Crafts. This one. And this one is the one that I have the least amount of stitches on of all of these. So this is 0.11% done, and it is 162 stitches. With this montage series, I think that the first square, like the top left corner square, is the least exciting one of all of them, almost. Like the rose looks good, but so I'm trying to stitch, so yeah, I try to stitch on that square, but also I would like to travel to more interesting things in the pattern, because when I stitched like the main subject of the image, I get a bit more motivated to stitch on it more, just because I want to be done with it in a way. Sort of, I want to like expand on that. So yeah, I stitch the fun bit first, and then I have background left, and I'm totally fine with that. Anyway, now we're going into the hates. So I believe that every pattern that I'm showing you from here on out is from Heaven and Earth Designs. I'm stitching, as I've said now, everything is on 18 count, 2/1, using CXC floss. So I'm just going to say the name of the pattern and the artist behind it. So Heaven and Earth Designs. Anyway, Mermaid Hunt by Tom Wood. This is what she's going to look like. Really like that a lot. And this is my start. So this one is at 0.32% done with 974 stitches. So like this I can do. And the reason with like the regular size heights is that I have had some trouble with my health, and holding large fabrics is not enjoyable to me. So the mini ones are easier for me to stitch on right now, but I still want to stitch these images. I will just have to wait until I get better. And I've tried using hoops and stands and stuff, and it doesn't work for me. So yeah, anyway, next one up is Egyptian Queen of the Lepers, and it is by Jan Patrick Kresny. This is the image. So, and this one is max color, and this one is at 48 stitches. Done. Ta-da! It is because I need to grid this, because it's max color and I don't work, so I need to grid, and so I can count easier where to go with the floss. I just haven't had the energy to do it yet. But this is my start, and it is 0.01%, if it even is that, because Pattern Keeper doesn't do like less than 0.0. Excuse me, I'm going to sneeze, so I'm just going to pause. Excuse me. So you know when you say you're going to sneeze but you don't? Yeah. Anyway, let's continue with this one. The next one I have is The Amazing Animal Kingdom by Amy Stewart. I'm sure almost all of you have seen this one. A lot of stitchers are stitching it, and I am one of those. So I'm starting in the top left corner, and I have moved towards the whale. Is where I am. And this one I actually have gridded. So I've stitched up to there. So started in the top left, moved across, stitch on up the book, further into the blue. So there it is. This is going to look so good when it's done, when I can stitch on it again. Just need a pile to stay a pile and not on the floor. Okay, next up we have my first mini, like the first of my minis that I'm going to show you. It's not my first mini, but this is Mini Glow and Dreams by Selena Finish. This is what she's going to look like, and I know that designs get a lot more pixelated when they are minis, but this one I actually think it suits her better to be pixelated in a way. I think it gives a different type of vibe of the image, and I really like that. So this one I picked up, and after the whip braid wasn't public, wasn't uploaded, so here I am on that one. So I've started in the corner and I moved the way down and did her face. So yeah, it is all pink, purple and blue in this pattern, so she's going to look good, I think. This one I have percentages of. It is, let's see, 6.31% done, and that is 5,036 stitches. Is that one? This is my actual first mini height. So this is Mini Deer Creek, and this one is the only one that I stitched with DMC floss, because it was my first one that I kitted up. And this is what it's going to look like. I know that all of the Stitch Kiteers are stitching this one this year, so if you want to see more progress on it, just look at their channels, because there are many. Yeah. Sorry, my voice is getting a bit sore, like my throat's getting a bit sore from all the talking. But here I am on Mini Deer Creek. This is 10.06% done. So it is... Oh, it started snowing. That is why the light is so bad all of a sudden. Okay, next one up is the Universe in a Jar. This is a mini by Randall Spangler. And yeah, this is what it's going to look like. And this is where I am. So this is all 939. And I am at, let me find it, 0.97% done. So this is one of those that I'm going to pick up and stitch more until you can see a bit better what it is that I'm actually stitching. So as you can see, it's like, it's something dark in the corner, and it could have been any pattern if I hadn't shown that image, right? But yeah, almost a percent done. Next one up is Mini Little Tommy Tittlemouse by Scott Gustafson. This is that one. It's going to be so cute when it's done, if he ever gets done, which he will, because I am so stubborn that I won't give up. So here it is. It's quite dark, not that all that dark. Let's see if I do it like that. Maybe you can see a bit better. I don't know. Typical that the lighting is going to be bad when it is the fun stuff. But anyway, Little Tommy Tittlemouse is at 0.67% done. So him I'm going to pick up and stitch a bit more until you can see that it is actually that image. Next one up is Starfish on the Sand Beach. It is in the Solo collection. Here is what it's going to look like when it's done. And this is my fantastic start. So this one is at 0.11% done. It is 86 stitches. And as you can see, I have a very small margin on this one. It is the same on the other side. And I'm planning to perhaps restart it just to get a little bit more margin. Even though I will never frame it or anything like that, just to be a bit more secure about the edges. I believe that everything will fit on the fabric. There it is. Next one up is Mini Dandelion by Ash Evans. This one, I know a lot of people have stitched this one. It is so cute. This fox is so cute. Really, really cute fox. And I am not even close to where you will be able to see the fox, to be honest. So here it is. It's all like blue and purple. And this one I am at 0.11, no, 4.03% done. So here you can see a bit better. Okay. And the fox will be like, it will start in the bottom of the first page. So up here his ear is going to be. Next one up is one of my husband's favorites. It's his Mini Childhood Sweetheart. And this one is also one of those that I'm going to pick up and stitch on a couple of days, just so you can see a bit better what it is that I'm stitching. So this is by Jim Warren. And this is where I am. So I've stitched some of the green and I've started in on the sky, and I will continue to do the sky until that is done, I think. And so I can move around in the pattern a bit more. But there it is. Part one. And this one I am at 0.48% done. And there my dog goes again. Holiday Magic by Laurie Prindle. And it is my only horse, I think. Yeah, unicorn horse. It is so pretty, but I am stitching the frame first, because when you look at this image, you don't really see it, but there is actually a holly and like, yeah, it is a frame with red berries and things around it, but your mind doesn't see it, but it is there in the pattern. So I have started in on the frame and doing that one first. So here it is, and I've started in some of the red. Let's see if I can show it. Some of the red and some of the gold, and there it is. So yeah, we're almost at the end here. So the next one is Meeting the Maker by Gothic Alchemy. It is this one. So I'm getting like Sherlock Holmes, Jack the Ripper, Victorian London vibes from this, and I really like it. It is like my only scary piece. The only Halloween piece I have is this one. And again, it's a whooping start. It's huge. This one is at 0.34% done, and it's just 310, so all black. There we go. Second to last, We Got a Secret by Chris Ortega. Is this one. She's going to look so good when she's done. Like, all of these mini ones are going to look so good when they're done. So here I am on that one. And this one is at 0.59% done. So it is just dark purple and blue, really dark colors. Up in the top left corner. Next one, and the last one I'm going to show you of my active webs, is Mini What Lies Beneath. It's by Dakota Detweiler, and this one is a retired chart from Heaven and Earth Designs, but Charting Creations have started to make patterns of her artwork. Not this one yet, but perhaps in the future, so keep your eye out. But this is the one, and this one, today is Friday, and I started this Wednesday. So very recently. And here I am on that one. So this one, I am, let's see, I am at 1.9% done on this one. And with this, like, the sky is quite block stitching, right? And the swirl is block stitching, but the octopus itself is really confetti heavy. I think she will stop growling now. But yeah, I'm not sure how to tackle the confetti. I'm sorry, I'm just going to tell my dog to stop that. She just needed to say that she just needed some cuddle. That was all. So she just let me know that she's awake and wants to have a cuddle. Oh, my heart goes out to her. I'm devastated with that she's in pain. But anyway, what lies beneath? And as I said, the octopus has a lot of confetti that I'm not sure how to tackle yet. So I'm continuing to stitch the sky until I can figure out how I'm going to do this. But so this is like the island of the head. It is like this part that you can see. I've stitched the sky up here. So that was all of my active whips. So if you were only here for the whips, thank you so much for watching. And if you're interested to see the things that I have kitted up that is in this bucket, you're more than welcome to stay, because if anyone wants to have a start along together with me, just let me know, comment in the comments down below, and we can start them together. But I have quite a lot of things kitted up and I want to start them because I like stitching mini heights, and a lot of the things that I own are kits and I don't really like to stitch on that as much. So as I said, I'm going to stitch a lot on one project until I feel like, okay, now you can see a bit more what the image is going to be, like some of the backbone in the images. And then when I've done that for some, like 3-4 whips, I'm going to start a new one, if I want to. But anyway, let's show you the shirts that I have, that I can start if I want to. So the first one is mini 12-sided dice fairy, and it is from Yasmin Beckett Griffith, Heaven and Earth Design. So it is this one. Let's see, can I get the image to show up? No, I can't. Not going to play. The next one is 20-sided, mini 20-sided dice fairy, so it's the sister piece. Also, Jasmine Beckett Griffith. And the next one I have is Mini Evergreen by Tracy Butler. So, her. And Mini, the Little Match Girl by Jasmine Beckett Griffith. So you can see, like, these are going to look so good when they are done. It's going to be so good. Can't wait to start them and finish them and everything, but they are quite a lot. So next one is Mini Dream Dance Precipice by Stephanie Poimun Law. And this is what it's going to look like. And this one is one of those images that I don't like the regular size at all. I like the bit more pixelated, bit more abstract version of it that Mini is. So yeah, because that type of art style normally isn't my style at all, but I like that one for some reason. The next one I have is Mini Trefoil by Elizabeth Welker. It's going to look like that. And Mini Cletus by Richard Lawrence. He's so, like, he isn't cute, he's cute ugly, and I really like that. And with many of these minis, I think that the mini version is good enough for me. Like, it is more than 1/3 of the stitches and the image isn't spoiled by it, I think. Mini Cozy Winter Evening by Uliana Babenko. I have that one. Mini Gardener's Paradise by Donna Gelsinger. This one is going to be, if I think that what lies beneath the octopus has a lot of confetti, this one, nothing can compare to this one. So it might be that I will need to finally learn how to park or something. Yeah, at least I'm going to grit my fabric. And because I enjoyed to stitch Watching the World Go By so much, I bought quite a lot of Lucy Pittaway's patterns. So this is Mini Moo and Me by Lucy Pittaway. So cute. So cute. And the next one I have is Mini Sunset Lighthouse by Dominic Dabison. So to me, this is like, it has the vibe of a Thomas Kincaid, but at the same time it isn't. So I really liked it with the sunset and lighthouse and something so tranquil by it. And if you have patterns from Heaven and Earth Design, the probability for you to have a Nadia Strelkina is quite high. So I have one as well, Mini Fairy Book. So that is the image, what it's going to look like. And what sold me on this one was actually, I saw someone on Instagram stitch this part. and I really like that. That was the regular version. This is the mini, but I think it looks good in the mini as well. So really happy with it done. Oh, horses. Okay, I have two pieces with horses. Again, as I said, lose a bit away. Mini a cheeky escape. So cute. It's just something about her artwork that I really like. It's cute, but at the same time, not so childish, I think. Mini ladybird in the meadow, also lose a bit away. Again, really cute. A lot of confetti in the flower field, but I'm fine with it. I'm fine. When you stitch a mini, because so much detail has been compressed down to that size, no matter what pattern you're picking, there is going to be a lot of confetti. The only one of my minis that doesn't have like so much confetti is the Glowing Dreams, the purple one. But else, you just need to be aware that minis have a lot of confetti. In my house, we actually don't call it confetti at all. We call it tutti frutti, which is tutti frutti, because my husband tries to trick me to say that in a Flosstube video. So every time I'm stitching, he says, "Oh, do you have a lot of tutti frutti?" I'm like, "No, it's confetti." I was like, "Yeah, no, it's tutti frutti, right?" But the thing is that I talked with some friends about it, and the more we thought about it, it was like, but yeah, you can have confetti that is really boring. So for instance, like, it isn't fun to stitch like things that isn't something, right? Like, confetti in a hill isn't fun, but in the sheep or in the face or something like that, well, then it can be quite fun because you're stitching something and the detail are showing up and everything just looks good. So that can be tutti frutti, right? Confetti is the boring thing, tutti frutti is the fun thing, because the tutti frutti is tasty and good and enjoyable. Confetti is something that you need to clean up and it's a mess. So anyway, just a thought, food for thought. I think that is quite cute, to be honest. And I am very biased because it is my husband. Anyway, Temple Path. It is by Jenna della Grottaglia Maldonado. This one again, heavy on the confetti, especially up in the tree. Because as you can see, there is a lot of different colors up there. But it's going to look good. And it's there. Next one is Mini Blossom by Melanie Dillon. Going to look so good. A lot of black. 1/3 of this pattern is black. So if you're going to stitch this one, just be aware that it is, I think it's 10,000 out of 30,000 stitches or something like that. Let's see how many stitches she is. She's 96,000 stitches total, so it's going to be like 30,000 stitches of this one is just black. I'm not stitching her on black fabric, but it's going to be a lot of retail. A lot. Okay, so that was all my minis that I have. I also have some regular things that I have, but it's quite unlikely for me to stitch on and to start. But if anyone wants to start them with me, please let me know and I will see if I can do it at a time. But yeah, Park Your Elephant by Natalia Maroche. This is Shorting Creations, and the reason why I love this one is because it reminds me of my dog. Because my dog, when she sits like that, like a teddy bear. With her tail hanging down and the butt sticking out a bit, and yeah, it's if my dog were an elephant, this is how she would sit. So it's so cute. And as I said before, I have the spring montage as well, Stevie Jenner, Pain-Free Craft. And here you can see, like, the thing that is fun on this one is the strawberries and the tulips and like monarch butterfly and a ladybug, right? Like everything down. So the first thing they're stitching is like, yeah, of course it's flowers as well, but like this square is just squares, like a checkerboard. And what even is that? I have no idea. So I'm not going to crop it because I want the whole image, but like I'm going to start in the top left and I will quickly move down to something that is fun. Just because that is how I see that. And it's fine if you don't agree with me, but I think the top left corner on these patterns are the most boring part. And the most fun is somewhere else. Okay, next one is Secrets by Elaine Sisler. This is from Heaven and Earth Designs. It looks like this. I think this reminds me of like Dark Link, and I am going to crop this because this pattern has, it's just black, green and white in it, and I don't think that like from here and down in this pattern makes any difference if this wasn't there. And the same goes like some of that, perhaps some of the top, and perhaps some of that side as well. Anyway, I'm not decided yet, but I'm going to crop it because I think I'm not going to stitch 70,000 stitches just to say, oh, it was the whole image and it was just gray. So no, I'm going to crop it. So the next one, and like this one and What Lies Beneath is the reason why I bought so many minis, because Dakota Detweiler was disappearing from Heaven and Earth Design, and it was before Charting Creations told us that she was going to be there. So this is the buffalo from Dakota Detweiler from Heaven and Earth Design. It isn't available anymore. And yeah, just so cute. So cute. And when she was retiring this summer, Heaven and Earth had a sale. And I thought, well, I can't just buy like one pattern, can I? No, they can't travel alone. So I bought all the patterns that I wanted, that I know that I am in the near future want to stitch. I bought all of them at the same time, kitted them up all at the same time. And yeah, I can actually show you because I have saved something just to show you. I saved all of the tags from all of the floss for everything that I've kitted up. Like all of them. So this is one of the IKEA bags that is like 4 liters, I think. So it's so many tags, but the work is done. Anyway, the next one is All We Ever Believed is Board Donut Adrian. It's unconventional cross stitch. It's this one. And I was originally going to stitch this for my mom. Luckily, I showed her the pattern before and asked what she thought. And she said it was so creepy that she didn't want it. I don't think it's creepy. Of course, it is a bit weird. There is a man that has a weird neck up here. I think it's so cool that it is a girl in books. Like, so cool. But my mom said it looks like a cave and it's creepy. So she ain't getting it, but I might. The next two ones are from James Meager. It is All Is Calm, Shouting Creations. This one. And the companion piece, All Is Bright. This one. Also from Shouting Creations. So, yeah. And then we have Mermaid in a Cosmic Sea that is Max Colors, Uliana Babenko. Heaven and Earth Designs. This one. I like the image, but I don't know if I think it's worth all of the work anymore. This one I bought like 2 years ago, 1.5, 2 years ago. So it isn't in my shopping spree this summer. But I have all the floss and everything for it, but everything up here is just 310. Everything on the side, 310. Because this is the max color version, and if you look at the Heaven and Earth Design website on the regular one and the max color one, you will see that the max color one is a bit darker, and that makes the sky just to be one color instead of many different, because in the regular version it is lighter and therefore it has more gradient of colors in it, but this one is just black. So be aware of that if you want to stitch this. The next one, we're getting close to the end, almost to the end. The next one is Isis, and it's by Jonathan Earl Browser, Heaven and Earth Design, this one. And the more I look at the image, the more unsure I am that I like it still, because with me, I need to have an image that is so far-fetched from the real life that it can't be real. Like the animal bookshelf, it can't be real, right? This one, it isn't far enough from being not real, and still it isn't close enough to be real. Like I need to be either very not real or very real. But if you look at her dress, like it looks weird, right? It's something that isn't right. So the more I look at it, the more it bothers me. So I'm not sure that I'm ever going to stitch this one. But I have it if I want to. It looks good. I like it. There's something about it. Next one, also Dakota Detweiler, isn't on Heaven and Earth Design anymore. It is Dreaming of Being Human. It's this one. Really pretty. It's huge. Not sure if my hands can handle it right now. And the next two ones are two fake ones that I have. I'm not planning on starting them anytime soon, but I have them. So the one is Spring Landscape by Luca S. I have the copy one. And when I bought all these, because I bought like everything that I have that is fake, I bought like almost at the same time. I think it was one, perhaps two purchases like for all of those. And when I bought them, I was looking for, because I had the autumn one and I thought I bought originals. So I found the spring one and I found the summer one, and I thought, well, I need to find something that is winter as well. So I did, but it isn't the same. It isn't the same artist. It isn't the same cottage. It's just that the idea of the image is the same. So I have winter one as well. And that is all of my cross stitch whips. I have the images of all my knitting as well. Show it. I'm not going to pick up the knitting, but I have some knitting as well. So if anyone is interested in seeing what I haven't started everything yet, but I have started that one. I have that one, and that one of these I have started. And if anyone wants to have like the name of the designer and stuff like that, just let me know in the comments and I will show them. I also have this. I have the yarn for these socks. You want to stitch them, knit them. And I also have yarn for these two. So, and I have some more knitting projects, but those are secret, so I can't show them. And they are on a different paper altogether. So I hope that you enjoyed it. It was a long one. My throat is really sore right now. I don't think I've forgotten anything, and hopefully the lighting isn't as bad in the video as it looks on my screen. I'm so sorry for complaining about it so much. I know it is fun to watch Flosstube where people complain, but so I'm truly sorry about that. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comment section down below. I will see if I can edit this or not. I'm not sure. The laptop that I was using died, so I'm not sure how I can do this because I'm filming on my tablet right now, so I'm a bit unsure. With Flosstube, my plan is to film once a month because I can show that as well, because what I do is I have this list. This is every whip that I have started and not started yet. And what I do is that January, for instance, was blue. So everything that I stitch in January is blue, and everything that I stitch on in February is pink. And I think that like for 9 projects, I think that is quite good for a Flosstube video myself. So I will be having less frequent updates, but hopefully a lot of progress on the whips I've worked on that month. Hopefully. But yeah. So I've talked about my plans. I've shown you all the projects that I have, both started and not started. I've talked about the prints. Yeah, I think that's it. So again, filming once every month. I am going to aim for the first of every month, but knowing myself, it will probably be like this one in the middle of the month, just because life happens. And I can already tell you now that the first week of March is going to be a lot for me, so I know I will be filming at the second week on March the earliest, and hopefully it will be a sunny good day for filming. So with that, I say goodbye, have a beautiful day, and I hope you got a lot of stitching in and that you saw something that you liked, and